Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of PHILCast. I'm so happy to be here with you. We have had so many exciting things happen in the market, and because of that, we have to have our special guest, Tim English, with us here today to tell you a little bit about crypto, a little bit how he found out about Philcoin, and also the work he's doing in philanthropy and how he's able to intertwine all those things, but also still be a family man and give us some tips on how to handle life situations. So, Tim, introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit about you, and let's just get to know Tim English.
And thank you, sir. Thank you again for just all that you do, you and your team, and the whole social media team out there is really doing some incredible work, and I'm honored to be a part of it. As you mentioned, my name is Tim English. I am a pastor. I pastor a church in the Bronx, New York, in the United States, and been married for 40 years. So I think I know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But I've always been the kind of a person that wanted to be forward thinking. I was always thinking ahead. And I understood early on in my life that understanding finance, being in the financial sector would be significant. And so, as a part of not just doing ministry, but as a part of my life, I decided I wanted to be a financial advisor. So I got my licenses. I went, did all of that, worked at financial companies here in the U.S. And that's how I started to get a glimpse of this whole crypto space and understanding, starting to learn what it takes to do that. And then, of course, to intertwine that in, with life, real life. So I'm excited about this crypto space, and there's so much for us to learn as we move forward.
And how did you get to meet Dunstan and Apostle Jerry?
Man, so it's an incredible story because it fits with the whole philosophy of Philcoin. I got introduced to Apostle Jerry as a result of an act of kindness that I did. Right, one of our other ambassadors, Apostle Bishop Israel Pena. He also pastors a church in the Bronx. Yeah. And years ago, I did a kindness to him. I did it, and we were fast friends. And then he's the one when they were looking for other ambassadors, he remembered that kindness and extended the same level of kindness to me. I'm telling you, the whole message of Philcoin is about being kind, sharing. It is so powerful. But that's how I found out about it. And of course, the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, when you give, you give without expecting anything. But when it comes back to you, and you actually see God's hand in it in your life, it's like boom, wow, and it is wild. I mean, right now, even for myself, I have a Firefly Festival coming this week, and we're going to be sponsoring. Philcoin is going to be sponsoring some little light wristbands that are going to go out to festival goers. And a year ago, when I was doing that, there was no Philcoin, and so now it's going to be really great to be able to share that message with people of love, exactly, and how it all connects, and what you do for someone this year, years down the road, it may impact you, and then years down the road, it'll impact your grandchildren and their grandchildren. And so that's how that cycle happens. But hey, somebody's got to start it, right?
Yes.
Somebody's got to start that pattern of giving, and it's exciting. So tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the market crash. I mean, you are a family man. You've been married for a long time. You understand what it is to have to go home to your wife and explain your financial decisions and have that conversation to make your marriage last a long time. So what is your sentiment about the market crash? How has that changed your view on crypto, or has that ignited something in you to be more excited about it?
Well, if you understand the market in general, right? Life in general. I think a good word is vicissitudes, right? Vicissitudes means there's ups and downs. There's, life happens to everybody. That same thing occurs in the market. There's ups, there's downs. And so my attitude, and this is what I say to people that I'm allowed to influence in any way. When you see a dip in the market, that's like if you're a woman, that's like pocketbooks going on sale, or shoes. going on sale, right? It's an opportunity for you to take advantage, right? And so I tell people when you think about the market, you think about this crypto space, the thing that you want to have uppermost in your mind, right? I believe what should be uppermost in your mind is the accumulation of the crypto, right?
Mm.
It's how much do I have, right? Not so much how much is it worth today, because you understand the vicissitudes, you understand that it goes up and down. So my question is, how much do I have? How many coins do I actually have? Because think about it like this, Enyo. If I have a million of anything, a million toothpicks, all right? If I have a million of the slightest change in value is far greater than if I only had one of it, right? So I'm saying to everybody, when the market dips, right, stay focused, right? Be focused on what it is you're trying to accomplish. I'm trying to accomplish helping people to accumulate all of the Philcoin that they can accumulate. Just load it up. And the way we do that is by sharing. Right? It is so powerful.
The toothpicks. One of the questions I was going to ask you is, how would you get your family or other people who might not know about crypto, who are scared to get excited? And I think you said it for me. I'm going to tell them that they can either accumulate one toothpick or they can accumulate many toothpicks. And I'll lay it out for them. I'll be like, here's one toothpick and here's a whole bunch, and tell me, who's smarter. And so sometimes you have to explain it like that. And have you found that in your life, that you have to explain things in a different way, or like some philosophical way, or a different way for some of your family members to grab onto this? Because you don't want people to fall behind. It can be aggravating when you need people, because we don't have enough money to save everyone, right? We need everyone to put in their own part. But how do you explain that to your family or friends that might not buy into it or might not understand what's happening in the market?
That's exactly what I do. As you can imagine, as a pastor, right? I have to be able to take these biblical truths, right, that may seem lofty or cerebral, and translate them down to how can I live this truth out, right? How can I actually apply this? And so that's the reason why I think like that. Is I need to break it down so that you can really understand it, right? You can absolutely understand it, and so that's what I'm saying to people. I'm saying, I say it to my family. I say it to everybody. If you think about, you can apply it to anything. Is it better to own one house or a million homes? If you're thinking legacy, if you're thinking longevity, if you're thinking about, you understand? So when the homes go on sale, buy as many as you can buy, right? And
sometimes people buy into the concept and they're not even understanding that they've already bought into the concept, or sometimes people don't realize they already understand so many concepts of how these financial systems work, but they don't understand that they've already bought into it. They just don't realize somebody gave them two papers and they signed it and they're like, oh, I'm good. They didn't realize behind those two papers are all the things that we're trying to sit down and talk to them about. And and I was an insurance agent before, so you got a good insurance agent is going to tell you about all the things, but what they're marketing is a gecko or an ostrich or whatever, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm buying a gecko, or I'm buying some lady with a white dress. And in reality, you're buying a whole contract that's full of systems and procedures that have been created to help a financial market withstand itself through years, for many years. So it's very important that we learn different ways to share, especially as a believer. You need to, people are looking at you, and then you feel like you have to have all the answers. So as a believer and a pastor, where do you find a lot of the information that you're sharing? Where do you like to go and find crypto information or financial information as an advisor as well? Where, some people, they don't know where to go. And then sometimes, they want God to just kind of reveal it to them. Sometimes some people are like, I need God to show me on a billboard on the way to work where to find out info for crypto, right? And so this is your billboard if you're watching. So where can people find some info that they feel comfortable with? Where do you go? I know you don't just look up in the sky and wait for a blimp to just tell you what to do.
And some people live like that, right? They're like, oh, if I'm supposed to do it, let it rain on this side of the road and be dry on the other side of the road.
I've been like that before. I'm like, God, I ain't gonna do this until I see a lilac come out of that field of corn. And sometimes God will bring, there's not a lilac, but then out of nowhere, someone throws like a purple frisbee and you see it and you're like, okay. And so God can talk to us like that. I'm not against it. I think I wish he did talk to all of us more like that. I think it would make life a little bit easier.
For
So
sure.
where do you find information at when God's not talking to us like that?
What I say to people is that you must do your own research based on the focus that you have. There's so much out there. YouTube. There's just the information. We are right now really information overload, and what ends up happening is it creates for people confusion. Okay, confusion. So the first thing I say is you need a trusted advisor. You need somebody that you trust, who has no ulterior motive. They don't want anything from you. They just want everything for you, right? That's the role of a pastor, of your house of worship leader. That person should be able to that you can go to them and feel a level of comfort, knowing that they're not going to try to take advantage of you. I think that's first. And I think secondly is you need to decide what your focus is. Right. What I try to influence people to have as their focus is the accumulation of whatever it is, right? The accumulation of, in this conversation, the accumulation of the cryptocurrency, right? So if that's the focus, then any news, any information that distracts me, right? I need to block it out, right? Because otherwise it'll break my focus. Right. So if there's a headline that says, I think I saw a headline not too long ago, something about Ethereum plunging because of the merge and because of the SEC says. So if I look at that news and my focus was the accumulation of Ethereum, guess what? I'm gonna be, oh my God, everybody, I need to, right? And it breaks my focus. So what I say to people, decide on your focus and don't let anything, your research, anything that pops across your screen, don't let it cause you to lose what you've decided to be your focus. And so there's where to go to get information. I suggest joining. Philcoin has a Telegraph group, and there's just so the information is just out there. You have to seek it. You have to look for it, right? But look for it from the lens of here is my focus. And I think you decide that before you start your research. Otherwise, does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it's very important, and we have to find the things that when we're focusing that pull our heartstrings, that really bring out a passion in us, and you'll find that also brings that'll bring more, make you feel like a better person, make you feel like you're more in line with your purpose when your money lines up with the focus that also is your life purpose. So tell us a little bit about that. What pulls on your heartstrings? What type of work in philanthropy really makes you move, really wakes you up in the morning and helps you maybe not sleep at night because you want to go do more of that work, or maybe helps you sleep at night because you know that you're doing this work. Tell us a little bit about what pulls on your heartstrings.
Well, what I think for me, and I think it resonates with most people, is we love a before and after. That's my when I enter an individual's life, here's where they are, right? As a result of my entrance into their life, here's where they are now as a result. That's what I want. That's what wakes me up at night. That's where I strategize. That's everything. Who can I enter into their life and make it better? I'll give you a living example. I have a pastor friend of mine who pastors the church in Nairobi, Kenya, right? And struggling, like everybody else, really going through all that they're going through. And I started to talk to him about Philcoin. And I said to him, I said, sir, if you'll allow me, right, and you follow my suggestions, it'll have a major impact on your life. Absolutely. He went out, and I told him the way to do it is to share this Philcoin app with as many people as you can. As a result of that, you're giving away your code, which means they're getting cryptocurrency, they're getting their coins, and so will you. Long story short, he followed, he by himself, he did 60 people.
Oh, wow.
He was able to be a blessing to 60 people. But as a result of that, it helped him. So now he's staking. Now he's right.
Wow.
They were able to put a whole new, brand new floor in his church. I mean, it's phenomenal. So the before and after is stark.
Wow.
Oh, and so when a person sees that and experiences that and lives that, they want to do it for other people. And that's what drives me.
So they put a floor? They were able to put a floor in the church with that original board?
Absolutely.
Wow.
They were having church service on a not even concrete. It was like packed dirt.
Packed mud. Yeah, packed dirt.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
you better hope the Holy Spirit comes in more with the ceramic floor. Because I'm telling you, if they don't feel the Spirit with the ceramic floor, they're gonna tear it up and get back there. I always wonder. I'm like, is the word praise and worship better? Because we help with missions in Haiti and other countries, and we help build churches sometimes. And sometimes when we go to these big churches in the U.S. with all this production, and then I go to a church that's a little bit more humble. I'm sit back and I'm like, maybe this is better. You know what I mean? Like we can make this healthier, but maybe the broken down sometimes is better. But it is true. That is amazing how Philcoin and them adopting that accumulation mindset and the giving mindset was a code for them to be able to get a new flooring. And not only a real flooring, it was a new spiritual flooring. And that should be, and if you're listening, I mean, that's what it's about. It's about teaching people, especially out of these third world countries, that they're only like 60 shares away from being able to get those referral rewards. Then you can stake. And those referral rewards are not all the time. And right now they stopped them for a little bit. And so it's only going to be during certain seasons of Philcoin when we are giving away coins, when we are, pushing to get the word out there that this is available. And it's only going to be available in these beginning years. So when all these things are happening, or for fun, exciting advertisements or whatever, or if they're giving away coins. So we have to take advantage of those rewards and the staking. And you really just inspired me with that story, because I realize that stuff's happening, but when you're like, man, and you can put a number to it. It's very different when you can put a number. 60 rewards. He got rewards from 2 people. Then they were able to stake it and also invest. And so that's what you have sometimes out there. There is they're not magic numbers, but there is a code that you need to do for your life on whatever goal you're trying to do, whether it be a floor, a church, an orphanage, a medical clinic, or maybe a dance school, an art school, whatever it may be. Once we start up these rewards again, you got to go out there and find out that number, because that number of rewards that you get could be your next breakthrough. And that's a story that we got to take home with us. I love that story, Pastor Tim. Woo.
It is so powerful, because think about the before and after.
Yeah.
Before Philcoin entered into Pastor Ruben's life, he was like most people, trying to make it, trying to do the best he can, right? And now look at him. He's gone from no money, right? Nothing. The coins aren't working for him, right? He didn't have any coins to work for him, right? To now. Anyway, I
get the cup. So, Tim, one of our exciting parts of life is the future generations, whether it be our children, grandchildren, our future legacy. I mean, you're also a spiritual father for many, so that's exciting. And how are you going about reaching that generation? Who in your family in the future generations are going to take on this legacy? And what are the exciting advice? What are some things you can tell us? What is some advice you can give us to how to reach this generation, and what's worked for you and what has not worked for you? And so give us some tips on this, because I know you're a family man, and you have a great, I would want to hear you speak, and that's good for young people, but maybe it doesn't always work. So what works for you, and tell us some tips and advice.
Okay. Well, I think what I'm learning as I go is each person has a different appetite for different things. My daughter, who is 34, 35. She's a principal of a school. She founded her own school,
Wow.
Elementary school, really powerful. She's got, I don't know, almost 500 kids in her school.
Wow.
She's very interested in this financial space, right? But from the traditional side. She wants them to understand savings and the things that we taught her growing up. She's not too interested in the crypto space right now, only because I believe because of ignorance, she doesn't apply herself to really learn it. But because there's a lot of, like I was saying earlier, the news that's out there. On the other hand, I have she has a son. He's 13 years old. His name is Julian, and he's all for it. He's. Are you kidding me, Grandpa? Grandpa, did you get my wallet set up? He's all, and it's. I think what we have to do as people who are blessed to have influence with people, your family. I think you have to meet people where they are, and I think that old saying, "The proof is in the pudding," right?
Yeah.
I think that really does work, right? Because I was showing my daughter the power of staking, right?
Mm.
Proof is in the pudding. I showed her, some coins that I've staked, some Philcoin that I've staked, and you can see the interest earned already. And she looks at that. She goes, maybe there's something to this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because I've known her whole life. If I tried to cram it down her throat, this is important. You got to do this. She would push back on it. And I think what people should do is just meet their family, meet their friends where they are, but put their own life on display. I think that's the power of it is look at what it's doing for me. Look at what it's doing for somebody that I've been able to influence. And I think that is when people who may be a little bit adverse to it will start to be a little bit more receptive. The truth of the matter is, and you know this is where the world's going. It is this. We can fight it. We can say, "Oh, I'm never going to do that," and we'll wake up one day and we won't be able to buy a bag of potato chips. You know what I'm saying? So it's like getting people ready for what's to come, and we don't have to demonize it, right? It doesn't have to be, oh, that's negative, or that means something bad, right? If we embrace it with knowledge, right, and we're guided by people who we trust, I think the space is so powerful. But the young people, because they're used to playing games now.
Yeah, they're gamers. You used to look down on gamers back in the day. You used to say gaming was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Or, when I was in high school, my mom, spanking me because I don't have an A+ and I got a C or a B minus. She's like, you're not going to play any more games with your friends. You're not going to play any more FIFA or whatever you're playing. Now, if I tell kids, I'm like, kids, I need you to go play every single game that you possibly can until you find one that pays you in digital currencies. And then you play that game more and more and more. And I feel like I would never have heard myself say that. But after you meet someone with Dustin's story and other people's story, you start to realize that, man, God is like a gamer. You start to see God in these children and in these systems, and your mind starts to be like, whoa, God is a gamer, and he literally made all these different realms and different worlds and different levels. And when you're able to see it, and I think sometimes you have to have a life, your eyes have to be opened to be able to see things a certain way, because God wants you not only to know it for yourself, but he wants you to share it and help other people who need to understand that and need to have an awakening as well, help them get there.
Absolutely.
And so that's why, the gaming system, I think if we use it to our advantage, especially young people, find young people who are into certain games that do gain money, and help to learn how to hone that in. So if you're a parent out there and your kids are into games, not every game obviously is going to be great for them to play, but there are a lot of games that if you research what rewards they win, or maybe it has some type of staking concept already built in. If we can teach some of our young people some of these concepts that are already built into the crypto space earlier on, they'll be even more set for the future generation, because like you said, it's coming. This system and the way of being is coming no matter what. But that's why Philcoin and our ambassadors and philanthropists and our team is here to help us go into that digital age, but with care and also humanity and sovereignty at the forefront. And so, in closing, Pastor Tim, tell us a little bit about what you want to tell our Phil Nation before we head out. There's a lot of people from all ages and all over the world listening, and so they want to know what's something they can go with from you, and just tell them something good. Tell them something good while we're closing out.
Well, I think the first thing I would say to everybody, right? You want to immerse yourself in something that is risk-free. Okay. And I think the thing that sets Philcoin far above any other thing that's out there is the risk has been taken out of it. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to invest anything. The only thing you have to do is download an app, create your wallet, go through the process, and then examine your life and find out who are the first 100 people that I want to make an impact to, that I want to give to them. It costs you nothing to do that. If you do that, I promise you, not only will you feel good, because you'll be like, man, these 100 people, I was able to bless them, right? But then you'll be blessed as well. It comes back to you. And so I get it. I'm sorry. I get excited. I get worked about it. I do.
It is.
Because
gives you a pep in your step. You walk around, especially if we're in the Bronx, right? Or if we're in DC like you are right now. It's like if you're just walking down the street, you're like, man, I'm helping people out because of Philcoin. You know what I mean? I wasn't saying that last year, and it's exciting, and that's what it's all about. We are changing people's lives. Our lives are being changed. We want your lives to be changed. So just make sure you tune in. And how can they find you? I know you're on Instagram. Where can they find you if they want to connect with you and know about your philanthropy work?
So you can go to my church website, which is bcf-ichurch.org. B is in baby, C is in Charlie, F is in Frank, dash, not underscore, dash, ichurch.org. You can see what we're doing. I mean, what we're doing even as a church. We had because we do rescue. We rescue young ladies from human trafficking and different things,
wow.
Domestic violence. And so we had about eight people that we rescued recently. That was at our church yesterday. It's today,
wow.
Monday, yesterday, and all of them got coins.
Yes, right, exactly. I know.
They were blown away. They were blown away. Like who comes to church and gets money, right? Normally you think I'm going to go to church because I got to give. You got to pay my dues and all that. No. It's a new realm. It's a new way. I'm excited about it. I'm encouraging every single one of you who are listening today. I know that you have people in your life that you love, that you care about. What a great way for you to influence them, to bless them by giving them your referral code, helping them to get themselves set up, and then watch it go, just go from there. So
don't be that friend that everyone's like, yo, Timothy, I see you made a lot of money. Or not Timothy, you already did Tim. But I see you made a lot of money, but you didn't tell me about this, That's not going to be a problem with Tim or with me. We're going to have told you from the rooftops. If like every rooftop I possibly can, we'll tell you about it. And so if you're out there and you're hearing this information and you don't share, we will find you. So you better share it. Share it. So Phil Nation, thank you for being here with us. Another great episode. We have so many exciting things happening with Philcoin. So many new things. If you go on our social medias, you're going to find out about Phil Education, Phil Social, and much more. So please make sure to stay in touch. Follow our official pages only. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to be in touch. And this is another great episode of PHILCast, powered by Philcoin. God bless y'all.